Hello, my darling doves. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am so sorry that it's been a while. I actually did try to have a fun little decorate the tree with me and talk with me, but it did not go as planned. So I'm sure some of you saw the short of my tree just up and lit, all fancy with the different colored ornaments on it. I was trying to make that a whole thing where we talked and hung out for the night and had cookies, but you know, life happens. Not everything works as planned. So I figured we would just do a couple of Yule ornaments today so that we can decorate our homes for the holidays. So of course the first step, just like when we do our spell jars, is cleansing the inside of the ornaments with our incense. I am using my cone and my backflow burner as usual, but you can use whatever type of incense you prefer, or if you prefer oil or a different type of smoke cleansing, you are more than welcome to do it however you like. I'm going to give those just a second to clear. Now these are fairly large. I think they're either 3.25 or 4-inch bulbs. I got them at Michael's they're on sale for $1 right now. Can you believe it? I don't know if that was just for this weekend or what, but it is Sunday, so it could be the sale for this coming week. That they're only $1 for these hollow ones, which is a great price. These are not the ones that clip open and shut, which would be quite a bit easier for adding large objects, as I'm now starting to realize. But I like these ones. So we're going to give it just a few more seconds for the smoke to clear. And then when we're doing Yule ball ornaments, we're usually thinking about things that we want to bring into the new year with us. So energy-wise, things that we want to have follow us into the new year through this winter season. So we're going to start with some amethyst. So everything we're using today is going to be a combination of protection, happiness, love, prosperity, combinations of those ideals. So first, the amethyst. Try to find some nice small pieces that'll fit nicely into our ornaments. I really like even numbers, so I'm going to try to do 4 pieces in each one. So 4 in number 1. Some of these might be too big. That one's definitely too big. That one's a maybe. Let's go for another smaller 2 here. There, that should give us a good selection. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely pieces of amethyst in that one. Beautiful, thank you. Then we're going to switch over to citron. Beautiful, lovely golden stone, perfect for success and bringing joy in the home. These are a bit smaller, so we shouldn't have an issue with getting it to fit. Do a nice little scoop of these beauties. Keep it over the jar just in case we lose a couple. last already. Oh, that's beautiful. It's like a tiny maraca. And now we'll do the other one. Two. Oh, we did have one jumper right here. Get in there. Lovely. So that's the citron added. And now we'll move on from stones to herbs. And we'll start with rose petals, which are great for bringing love and happiness into the home. Also gives us a nice bit of color for the holidays. Red is very symbolic color-wise of the holidays. The other nice thing about rose petals is they dry very nicely, so in an ornament like this, they will last. Now, depending on your line of thinking, some will say to use dried flowers only, but if you prefer using oils, you can use essential oils with your ornaments. And just make sure that whatever flower petals you're using can hold up to the oil, that they won't disintegrate. That's also why you want to avoid using water in these, is because they will start to disintegrate and mold. Because these are pretty hard to seal completely, we are going to wax seal them. I got a gold chime candle to seal them with. Another color emblematic of the holidays, but also bringing prosperity into the home. You want to make sure that, because these are incredibly hard to seal, anything that you're using oil-wise is going to be very antibacterial. So things like rose petals that dry very well and can actually be used to make and fragrance oil and stand up to it are going to be good choices. Now, I personally will not be using oil for these, just because I don't have a ton of good experiences with using oils for things like this. And I want to be able to keep these for years and years and years and not have to switch them out or redo them. So we've got our rose petals in there. Lovely, lovely. We are also not going to fill these 100% full. They're going to get pretty full, but not full to the brim. Next, we are going to use a little bit of white sage, just because it is the be-all end-all of protective power in plants. And mine is from my local apothecary, Face Cabinet, of course. They do source everything ethically from a couple of small local growers that they know. Just be aware, white sage is still considered endangered, so be very careful about where you're sourcing it from and try to make sure you're getting it from an ethical grower that understands the fact that it is endangered and the risks of over farming. Most everyone nowadays is pretty aware of that, which is wonderful. Next, we are going to go with cedar fronds, which are good for banishment and also success. So we've got these here, lovely. They do also just kind of remind me of the holidays. They look very festive and lovely. Look at these beauties here. So we're going to get a few of these in here, gently. Very gently, don't want to damage it, since the hole on these is kind of small. But they just look Christmassy, don't they? A little bit of those in there. Switch over to number 2. A couple more lovely fronds of cedar here. There we are. Beautiful, beautiful. And now I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to get these into the jar, or the ornament, I should say. But I do have orange setnets here, which I have already portioned up into quarters to see if I can maybe make them fit a little easier that way. These are fully dried. And that's another one of those that, like cinnamon, represents home and hearth and abundance and has all kinds of wonderful associations with it, especially around this time of year. People tend to dry them and string them, hang them up in their windows. And a lot of larger Yule balls, especially the ones that do snap open, you'll see whole dried oranges inside. Of course, I did not get that kind, I got the whole ones. But these quarters, even though they're fully dried, they are a little flexible. And I'm not having much trouble just kind of wiggling them down into there. And I will say, when I was snapping them apart, they smelled absolutely divine. And that never hurts. Get the scent of fresh oranges in your house. Also, in simmer pots this time of year, oranges are very popular because that citrusy freshness is beautiful. Now just a couple more things before we attempt to wrap these in twine and seal them. I did get some mistletoe when I went by the apothecary earlier. Now mistletoe, especially this time of year, is considered to be very good luck. We all know the rituals of couples kissing under the mistletoe. So we're going to add a bit of that for good luck, love, and happiness in the new year. Come on, you can do it. There we go. This does not have any berries on it. The berries, from what I understand, do not dry up quite as well. But the leaves are powerful enough. And we will make do with that. Oh, a bit of cedar popped out. Let's get that back in there. Very, very, very long stem there with a very large bend in it. No way that would have all gone in without breaking. There we go. Bit more. There we are. Mistletoe added. Save the rest for another project, maybe a good luck jar or something of that nature down the road. And the last thing we're going to add is cinnamon. Again, it blesses the home, the hearth. It's very protective. It's representative of fire. And you'll almost always see cinnamon used in your Yule balls. Well, that one's in there. This one is just a hair too long. That seems to be stuck right in the opening. I have a different one here. That one's actually a bit longer, but also a bit skinnier. So easier to just break a little bit in with it. So it's not separated. Never leave a piece behind. And there we are. So that is a very basic Yule ball that you can make for the holidays. Of course, you are more than welcome to add more to it. If you wanted to add salt for purification, if you wanted to just add more of the ingredients in general to fill them up a bit higher, give them a little more volume, you are welcome to. I did not want to do them super duper full. That's just me. I kind of like a minimalistic approach, but I'm also a bit weird in that nature. You could also change it up to whatever fits your home better. If you wanted to add lavender, for instance, you could always add some sprigs of lavender to it as you wish. Nothing wrong with customizing. But generally, Yule balls are a nice blend of a few different things conceptually to bring into your home. So protection, prosperity, happiness, and your well wishes for the new year. Another thing that people like to do with these is they will write on a slip of paper what their wishes for the new year and seal it up inside of these as well. So you could always do that. So many options when it comes to these. I have had enough of my wishes fulfilled. I am just thankful to be here talking to you. So I am not going to put any kind of note in them for this year. And if you're so inclined, you can also make these as a gift for others for the holiday season. Because who doesn't love receiving a beautiful custom ornament from a loved one? So we're going to light our gold chime candle. Of course, you can use any candle you prefer. White is usually recommended for this kind of work, as it is generally very positive, but also fairly neutral. So for summoning, cleansing, banishment, bringing in prosperity, and kind of the general protection energy we're going for here with this, a white candle would be excellent choice. I chose gold to be a little more festive this time around. I wanted to play with it a little bit. And I think gold is also an excellent color for bringing in prosperity, but also the hardness of metal can be a reference to strength, because a lot of color association is very fluid based on how we see it. So there are very few hard and fast rules when it comes to any of this. Most of the time, if you do what feels right and you're not getting an intuition or a spirit nudge telling you that you're wrong, go right ahead. Do what makes you happy. So we're going to wrap this and seal it with wax. I'm going to cut a generous amount of twine for each one of these. Hopefully that's enough. Really hoping that's enough, because I'm going to cut the same amount for the next one too. We'll see what happens. Little more. Not that much more. I'm launching it off the table. Here we go. About that much. There we are. Now, thinking about how to get this attached to there. I think my best bet is going to be dipping one end of the twine into the candle wax so that I can adhere it down here without having to get out like my hot glue gun or anything like that. So this may be problematic. We will find out if this is a good idea or not. Yeah, I'm not even going to try with the other candle to get any of the wax out of there because that one's burning very low right now and I would definitely hurt myself. So let's see what we can do here. If you're going to try this at home, please be very careful. I am kind of maybe sort of a professional. And if I hurt myself, that's nothing new. I need the wax, but I need it to not catch on fire. Come on. Oh my gosh, this gold wax is not wanting to drip at all for me. There we go. I think I broke the seal somehow. Because of the gold color or what, but yeah, this is not a particularly drippy wax. There. I think that should be enough to hold it. We're just going to very gently keep wrapping up and around, up and around, up and around. Over and over and over and over again. We have just enough to reach the top of the metal cap here. Honestly, I probably could have cut a little more than what I did to do this, but I didn't, and now I'm paying the price. I'm being a weenie and using the bottom of the candle to kind of smush the rope in. Fine. Rope, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm also dripping it in odd places. I have a runaway going down the side of the wall here. You know what? I'm going to leave it. I think it's lovely. Very similar to how we do our jars. We're just going to keep turning and dripping. Until we create a nice thick wax seal here. And we want to go top to bottom. All the way down the rope. Or twine, or whatever you want to use. You can use ribbon. But we just want to make sure that seal is from top to bottom. We don't want to just seal the top. Oh, ouch. That's what that was. very large amount of wax very suddenly dripped down the other side of the bowl and landed on my finger. I am in a little bit of pain, but otherwise I will be okay. And again, I think the random drops on the ornament build a character. You can always scrape them off if you're not a fan, but that is purely up to you. Also, yes, the wax is not gold on the ornament itself. It is coming off white, but it's the intention that matters. The colors actually only matter a little bit. The intention of what you're doing is where all the magic lies. That's why we always say it comes from inside you, not the ingredients or the amount of money that you're spending on all of this. All of that is just the fluff. Okay, so we're going to try to go for same as last time. Start with it pretty close. Pressed in on the top here. And then we're going to try to get some right on the twine. Start locking it in. So it doesn't go anywhere on me once I start turning it. I think I pinched a little bit of it under the cap. That'll help immensely. There we go. But that's a nice thick start of a seal right there. Put the candle down. And wrap, wrap, wrap. Next level up. Keep wrapping. Around the edge, up and over again, covering the whole lid. Wrap, 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 wrap. This one's got some gaps, so we're going to push it down just a little. We don't want any crazy big gaps. There we go. Until we get to the end, right up here at the top. And we're going to try to get some wax right here on the end. And I'm going to be leaning and use the candle to push it in so I don't burn myself too many more times than I already have. And we're going to keep sealing the twine. Watch the drips. Try not to burn yourself. Also watch the distance from the candle to the twine, because you don't want to light your twine on fire. I just almost did that, and that is not a good thing. Especially if you buy the plastic ornaments and not the glass ornaments. Please try very hard to not light yourself on fire or melt the plastic, because melted plastic is very not good for your hands. This has been the emergency service announcement of 5 ways not to hurt yourself while decorating for holidays. Just kidding, it's more of a trial and error. I hurt myself so you don't have to. Does that make me Bill Nye the Scientist or just a crazy person? I am full of jokes today, and I apologize because my jokes are terrible. Oh my gosh, I heard that hissing and I got so scared. It's just the backflow incense cone, which is slightly alarming because it shouldn't be hissing, but also that cone produced almost no backflow burn. So I think it's hissing because there was moisture in it somehow. And it just didn't set up correctly. There we go, almost there. As you can see, the seal is very thick on this side, and we have some beautiful drips coming down. And there we go. The seal on that one is nice and thick all the way around, top and bottom. We ended up with a nice little drip going on over here. I think these are absolutely lovely. They turned out beautifully. Again, could have filled them just a little bit more. You can always add more to your own, but I am going to hang these in my window and be very proud of them. Let me know if there's anything else that you guys want to see. I hope you have a delightful holiday season. I love you, and have a wonderful evening.